This video is brought to you by Jack Link's Beef Jerky.
I paid $14 for this.
How's it going, everyone? Today we're playing this black-white Reanimator in Alchemy. Duskmourn gave us some pretty sweet reanimation cards to make this deck work. We got Rite of the Moth, which has flashback. Important to note about this card though, it does add a finality counter on it, so if that creature dies after you bring it back, it will get exiled. If you have the option to play Live or Die or Rite of the Moth, a lot of times Live or Die is just better. If you think your opponent has a removal spell for the card you're going to reanimate, maybe it's better to just play Live or Die. Also, this being an instant is pretty huge too. But the flashback effect is nice from Rite of Moth, so you have a couple different options there. And the main cards we want to reanimate is Valgavoth. I think everybody knows what this does at this point, and Saint Elenda. I love playing this against mono red since mono red is 90% of the meta right now. I am playing two new Overlords, so this one definitely helps you fill up your graveyard with some creatures, and then the other Overlord can help you gum up the boards, buy you time, and it's also not a bad reanimation target if you need to do that as well. I guess other notable cards, Collector's Vault, of course, a must-have in this deck, and then everything else is pretty much hate against mono red. Winter's Intervention is a new card that deals 2 damage and you gain 2 life, pretty good against mono red, and we're also running all 4 Virtue of Persistence. My win rate has been pretty nice with this deck. I've been cruising through Platinum with it. Probably finish Platinum with this deck just because I really enjoy playing it, and I think it's decent against mono red with all the life gain and just hate cards. So enough talking about that, let's just check out the deck. I mean, I feel like this hand's okay. I feel like I mulligan this and I get a much worse hand. Obviously, we need a lot of stuff with this hand, but if they're playing mono red, which of course they are, then this hand isn't terrible. Collector's Vault's good, but I think I would have much rather had a land. Uh-oh, they didn't have a turn to play. As much as I want that, I'm going to put it in the trash. I got, somebody had like an abrade on me the other day in this mono red deck. I thought that was funny. They're debating what to burn me with. Yeah, that's good. There goes my Collector's Vault. They thought really hard about that, which is funny. I don't have double whites. But at least that thing's gone. Yeah. I can't tell you just how tired of mono red decks I am. I'm gonna keep this actually, since I feel like they're kind of light on creatures. They have a bunch of spells in their hand. So hopefully they load up this Meadow Guard with their... They dump their hand on this thing and I can exile it. The Might of the Meek, I think is worth just using it on now because I don't want them to draw a card. You have another creature. They plotted a slick shot. I always feel like this is a bit of a risk with them having 4 cards in their hand. So I think it might just be better to hold up Bitter Triumph, discard the Overlord, and then we can Live or Die next turn. Huh. They didn't want to go for it. I mean, eventually they got to go for it. See, that's what's bad for us doing this play. So eventually they're gonna... Oh, that's huge, actually. Maybe I should have just used the Rite there. I was thinking I could get them with the liver die and kind of surprise them. But since I'm doing that... Well, now we're just gonna do it. Hello. I would think this would be enough to force them play out their slick shots. I mean, I could just play this. Or I could impend it too and still hold up the Bitter Triumph. I kind of like that play. Make some blockers, still hold up the Bitter Triumph. I'd imagine this would be the turn they go for it. And we're just going to put a blocker on each one and pray. We're at 28 though. I guess if they have like 2 pump spells and 2 cell swords, would that be enough? Not counting, you know, me having an interaction. They're thinking. Alright, Monstrous Rage. We're gonna definitely play this on Valgavoth next turn, if we can. Alright, so both creatures have trample now. I mean, I'm still double blocking now. I'm going to double block now since I have the Monstrous Rage. I was going to go 1-1, but them having trample, we just want to kill one of the slick shots. I think now I'm going to use the Bitter Triumph. See if they have another turn inside out. Like them hitting me for 8, or I guess it'll be 10 now. We'll go to 18. Then if they have a Cell Sword, we get a 6. But they're also dead on the crackback, so they have to kill me here. I know they have the Cell Sword. They're like, how do I make this bigger? You know you can't. Yeah, you can't target this either. That's what they're wanting to do now, I guess, is target the Valgavoth. But you don't have 3 non-land permanents. You can do 12 to me and then you can die. That's, yeah, pretty much all you can do. I wanted to cast Monstrous Rage on the Terror Eater. Alright, GG's. I think this is a good hand. I mean, we only have 2 lands, but I think we can probably get there. And they play a Leyline of Resonance, of course. And they had the turn 1 play. I really didn't want them to have a turn 1 play so I could get my Collector's Vault down. Do I want another Surveil land? I think I'm going to keep it. I feel like we can definitely just lose next turn. I'm going to pass and try to use Bitter Triumph instead of the Virtue. The problem is that new card where they get a Manifest Dread every time. So this is fine. I want them to do this. Please play another spell. Alright. Let's see how... they're going to Manifest Dread, aren't they? I probably should have just went ahead and killed it, and I was being greedy. Okay. Do you have another one? Alright, well now we're definitely going to just use the Virtue. I guess we keep this one. That's just going to buy us more time. Unless they start plotting slick shots, then we're in trouble. But yeah, another Challenger, it's fine. Now we can play our Collector's Vault and, you know, get some... Start, hopefully find our Reanimation spell. I need them to not play a creature. And they've just had creature after creature. That's pretty lucky. I pretty much need to hit next turn or we probably die. This card should have never been printed. Never been printed. Okay, well we don't have the mana to cast this spell. What happened to my voice? All right, so now we're just hoping they don't have another spell. Okay, maybe. Maybe we're gonna luck out here. I tell you, we're definitely gonna kill this leyline though. That shit out of here. Alright. I don't think they can win from here. Fuck out of here, mono red. Man, they must have a bunch of lands in hand after we're like, oh, they're so lucky. They're drawing creatures, but I guess they have nothing left. GG's. GG's. This is a hand that definitely gets ran over by mono red. So I think we're gonna mulligan that. I know I've played this person a lot. I don't remember what they play. This hand looks better. I hate putting back a land here, but I think I want all these cards. Okay. Well, especially if they're playing a red-white deck. Give me this land. What does this do? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Non-creature spells cost 1 less to cast. Okay. I think we'll just surveil here. All right, I don't want any more lands at this point. I need a reanimation spell. That's all I care about at this point. Level 2. This will make it a little awkward if I draw the double black-white reanimation spell. All right, we can just concede this game. Ghost Vacuum. Well, that shuts our deck down. This hand's good. Got a way to put Saint Elenda in the graveyard. Got a way to reanimate it. Are they playing mono red? Are they playing mono red? This is a good hand, I think, if they are. Of course they are. Yeah, I need lands. I am in the market for lands. Probably after this one, I'll just want some more removal spells. Buy time until I get to live or die. Alright, I don't want them to start plotting a bunch of stuff. That's probably the worst thing for me. If they plot another slick shot here, we're probably in trouble. No blocks. Do it. Do it. Discard a card. This was a good draw too. I can reanimate a turn faster. If I would have drawn another, I guess I should say a non-colorless source. But it still could potentially happen. Okay, it did happen. That's very nice for us. And this should just be game over against mono red. I don't think they can beat Saint Elenda. GG's. This hand looks good. I get to go first. Definitely keep this. We don't know what we're playing against, but I have 3 removal spells in my hand, so maybe I don't need this one. Play our vault. Blue-white control. Well, the vault's pretty good for us, I think. Uh-oh, they missed a land drop. Probably don't need this. I know I have the Valgavoth still in my hand. Yeah, we'll put that in the graveyard. All right, if you want to counter this, that's great. Sure. Much rather that get normalized than one of my counter spell or one of my reanimation spells. Play the Grotto. Don't want another land. I guess I could go for Virtue. Nah, here we go. I guess we can loot first. We'll just sack all our treasure tokens. Play the Virtue. The old doll maker on the Caretaker's talent. So they're probably playing like the, what is that artifact? 3 mana blue artifact. You know, makes creatures every time they get an artifact in play or something. Yeah, I just don't think I need that. I guess we can go ahead and kill this and then... I don't know, it doesn't matter. Exile up to 1 other target non-token permanent. Its controller creates a copy of it. So you're telling me I don't know why I did that. There was no reason to. I should have done the Collector's Vault. This is actually bad, because now if this dies, it just gets exiled and I can't bring it back with the Virtue. I just made a play that hurt myself. Perfect. But it didn't matter. GG's. This hand is fine. Might be playing a little mirror match. So I don't think I need another Bitter Triumph. Really, I just want to get my Collector's Vault down. And another Bitter Triumph, huh? I guess Live or Die is my reanimation spell. Maybe I'll Surveil first. I do need lands. But I also need stuff to go to the graveyard. Alright, well we can't play Live or Die next turn anyway, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pin this. See what we can get in our graveyard, if anything. Big whiffs. Big whiffs. Why Flashless N? Okay, well that's a good card to put in the graveyard. Another good card to put in the graveyard. I guess we can just play this Collector's Vault. I don't think I'll need the Bitter Triumph something next turn. Oh, they just want the other ability. Creatures your opponents control can be the target spell's abilities. Okay, so that actually works against the Valgavoth trigger, the ward trigger. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get our Saint down. And we'll get rid of this thing. I mean, I guess it is kind of relevant. What you got? So I guess they're playing the same deck. Give me something, deck. You have a removal spell? Okay, sure. Ghost Vacuum. What the hell? People playing Ghost Vacuum? Who does that? I do that. Although it's not in my deck. Well, Live or Die is the best thing we could have got, probably. An instant way to get around Ghost Vacuum. And I can actually kill it when they go for it. But maybe they just don't go for it, but I think they won't be able to help themselves, right? I mean, I would probably start exiling creatures with Ghost Vacuum and not play around Live or Die. I'm gonna just go ahead and kill this thing. Because I don't want them to have this portent. I don't want them to get a piggy that can exile an enchantment or artifact. Go for the Ghost Vacuum. Yes. Do it. There we go. Just what I needed them to do. All right. All right, come on, deck. All right, they're all in the graveyard. We are looting through my deck. Well, if I don't find anything else, that's good, I guess. That's what we want. But I might actually just go for this. I want to start exiling their creatures in their graveyard. GG's.
Hey guys, Siege Rhino here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Blah.